Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Quest for Knowledge. Today we are going to learn active and passive voice from grammar part. Voice. Voice is a form of verb that shows whether the subject acts or it has been acted upon the verb. Verb is an action word. Sentences are in either the active or passive voice form. Here there is a small chart which is having example of active voice and passive voice. Let's learn what is active voice first. Active voice is a grammatical structure in which the subject of the sentence performs the action expressed by the verb, by the action word. In the other words, the subject is the doer of the action. Active voice tends to make the sentences more clearer, more direct, and more concise. Now let's learn about passive voice. Passive voice is a grammatical structure where the subject of the sentence is the recipient of the action rather than the doer. In passive voice, the focus is on the action or the object being acted upon rather than who is performing the action. So active voice includes subject plus verb, action plus object. Passive voice includes object plus verb plus subject. Here we have an example. Dad washed the car in active voice. So first there is the subject, that is dad. Next there is verb, the action, that is washed. Then we have an object, that is the car. In passive voice, it is the car was washed by dad. So object is the car which comes first. Then there is verb, the action, that is washed. Then we have subject, that is dad. We have other two examples. Millie is baking a cake. A cake is being baked by Millie. They wore a sweater. The sweater was worn by them. Change of voice involves three significant important changes. The first is it changes the function of the subject and the object. So if there is a change in voice, it changes the function of the subject and the object. And then it changes the position of the subject and the object. And then we have it changes the form of the verb. Here, when the change of voice involves these three changes, the meaning of the sentence remains unchanged. The meaning of the sentence remains unchanged. The meaning won't change. The tense of the verb remains unchanged. The tense of the verb will also not be changed. The passive voice is used when the agent or the doer is unknown or obvious. Active voice. Active voice is a sentence where the verb, the action, shows that the subject does an action. In active form, the subject acts. So here in active voice, the subject acts. Here we have characteristics of active voice. The subject of the sentence in active voice is in the beginning of the sentence. So the subject of a sentence in active voice will be in the beginning of the sentence. A verb and object follow the subject. A verb and object will be followed by the subject. A sentence in active voice indicates clearly who has done the action. So it will be clear that who has done the action in active voice. Use of active voice. Active voice can be primarily used in subjective or opinion-related writings where the doer of the action is given importance. So, here in the use of active voice, the doer of the action is given importance. Sentence and structure of a sentence in active voice. It includes subject, verb plus object. The storm damaged the roof. So the storm is the subject, verb is damaged, object is the roof. He may have cooked the food. He is a subject. Have cooked. May have cooked is verb. It comes under verb and object is the food. Passive voice. Passive voice is a sentence in which the form of a verb shows that an action is done to the subject. So in passive voice, it shows that an action is done to the subject. So coming to the characteristics of passive voice, when we change the sentence from active to passive voice, the object becomes the subject. So when we are changing the sentence from active to passive voice, the object will become the subject. We can only use sentences with transitive verbs in the passive voice, meaning we can change sentences with an object into this voice. Intransitive verbs do not take place in passive forms. Example, I went to Delhi yesterday. The ship slowly disappeared from view. So here we can notice that the change of the sentence from active to passive voice, the object is becoming the subject. And we can use these sentences with transitive verbs in passive voice, meaning we can only change the sentences with an object into this voice. Uses. Passive voice is often used in objective writing where the focus is on the action. So the focus is on the action in passive voice. It is widely used in formal, professional, journalistic, legal writings and scientific research papers. So passive voice is widely used in formal, professional, journalistic, legal writings and scientific research papers. It is used to make an impersonal statement. So passive voice is used to make an impersonal statement. It is used to eliminate the mention of the agent. So it is also used to eliminate the mention of the agent. Sentence structure of a sentence in passive voice. It includes subject, be form plus past participle plus by plus object. The book was written by a famous author. The car is being repaired by the mechanic. So it is including subject, be form, that is be and being, plus past participle, the action which was occurred in the past, plus by, plus the object. So here are few examples of active and passive voice for the sentences in present, past and future tenses in all the three tenses. So in active voice, he flies a kite. In passive voice, it is a kite is flown by him. He is flying a kite. A kite is being flown by him. He has flown a kite. A kite has been flown by him. He flew a kite. A kite was flown by him. He was flying a kite. A kite was being flown by him. He had flown a kite. A kite had been flown by him. He will fly a kite. A kite will be flown by him. So here in these examples we can see it is in all the tenses present, past and future tense. So in active voice it is first the subject plus the verb plus the object, and in passive voice it is object plus the verb plus subject. Hope this helps. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe.